Something very sleazy is going on in the 18th Congressional District in Florida. I've been trying to follow this. They're finding ballots, partial ballot counts. All of a sudden, absentee ballots show up in one part of the county and so forth, and this doesn't seem right at all. Matter of fact, it seems like there's a lot of fraud going on. And I wanted Alan West, our good friend, a leader of the conservative movement, to come on and tell us what he knows. Alan West, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well, Mark, and we are just standing in the fight for liberty and our representative democracy that we have here in this republic.
What's going on exactly down there?
Well, let's go back to election night, because that's really where it starts. Election night, we're there, and we have about an 1,800 vote lead. Then all of a sudden, about 1 o'clock in the morning, within a 30 to 35-minute period, you see about a 4,400 vote shift that takes me from being ahead to my opponent all of a sudden now being ahead. And, of course, he comes out at 3 o'clock in the morning and delivers a victory speech. And what we come to find out is from the supervisor of elections of St. Lucie County, she says that she went back and recounted early ballots that had already been counted. And that's how you got that incredible 4,400 vote shift in that 30 to 35-minute period, which is absolutely astonishing to us. But it's not just that. It's the fact that Miss Gertrude Walker there, she was counting ballots behind locked doors, which is a violation of Florida statute. This past weekend, the canvassing board met without public notice and behind closed doors, which is a violation of Florida Sunshine Law. She said that she would do a full recount of early ballots, but then, of course, Sunday morning she decided to only do a partial recount. She blamed it on the Secretary of State for Florida, saying that they only wanted her to do selected days. Well, we find out that the Secretary of State for Florida never told her that. And even with the partial recount that she did, it ended up that we got a net gain of 535 votes, which now puts us at 0.58%, and you know the threshold for an automatic full recount is 0.5%. That's 249 votes. All we've been asking for is the full recount of the early voting. We've seen discrepancies in that at certain polling precincts, the logs of people that signed in do not match the actual amount of ballots that were cast there. So there are many things that are going wrong. We have now filed a suit in the state court, circuit court there in St. Lucie County and Fort Pierce to name her as a defendant to have all of these early votes counted, because that's what the nexus of the problem is. And for whatever reason, she does not understand she's an elected official responsive to the people, and she's refusing to do it. You know, Mark, I could care less about me, but if we are living in a country where the citizens no longer trust or have confidence in the democratic electoral process, then we have lost the rule of law. We have lost this republic, and we're on the road to being something similar to maybe a Zimbabwe in the near future.
I couldn't agree more. And as a matter of fact, what the court should do, not that it will, is appoint an independent person to replace her for the purposes of doing this recount, because she obviously can't be trusted. She's either an incompetent boob or a political hack. You don't need to comment on that, but keeps counting and keeps coming up with different numbers. Something's wrong with that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I think that they know that they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and something is wrong with their early voting procedures, and really overall their entire voting procedures. Mark, we were successful. We won in Palm Beach County. We won Martin County, and now it's this St. Lucie County where we see these salacious activities going on. And this is about us asking questions. This is about us making sure that, you know, the 22 years I spent in uniform to serve this great nation, I took an oath to the Constitution to support and defend it. And I want to make sure that that oath that I continue to serve under means something. And it is about, like I said, the honor and the integrity of our electoral process. And I know that there are people out there that are Democrats or liberals that are listening, and they're hooping and hollering. You know, if you want me gone, that's fine. But do not do it at the expense of the voters in Congressional District 18. All I am asking for is a fair and equitable elections process, and let the results come out where they may.
You know what's amazing? I asked you if you thought the election would be close, and you said, I think we'll be okay something to the effect, I think they'll be okay if they don't pull something, if they don't do something, something like that. I wonder if you always had this in the back of your head.
Well, you know, I'm an old combat commander, and you always come out with a great strategy, a great plan to execute. We did very well at implementing that plan at the tactical level. But when you are going up against, you know, a media establishment, as you well know, down in South Florida, that from the day one that we announced, they started to pummel you. When you have these outside groups such as this Credo Pack from San Francisco who came down, and, you know, you actually had people calling homes and going out to homes spreading rumors about the fact that I beat my wife and I hate women. And you met my wife, Angela. I mean, there's
wonderful.
Nothing farther from the truth.
No.
But when you have to go into the arena and you have to fight against all these things, and you have to fight against, you know, people that are calling your 22 years of service, honorably discharged service from the military, trying to reframe that as you being a war criminal, there was never a talk about the issues. There was never a vetting of my opponent. It was almost as if he got the free ride. But, you know, I don't complain. I'm always up for a good fight, but I will never concede to corruption, and that is exactly what we have here.
What can we do? Is there anything we can do?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we have established a recount fund because in order for us to be able to, you know, continue this process, we cannot use election funds from the campaign. We have to have a separate recount fund because we have a very good legal team, and as I said, they filed a lawsuit in state court, and if need be, we'll file that lawsuit in federal court. We want the truth to come out, and I will not relent until the truth comes out, and that means a full recount of those early votes. So you can go to the exact same Allen West for Congress website. It should be able to direct you to the recount fund. You can call our headquarters there in Stuart, Florida, and they can give you all the information as well.
The website is allenwest.com, and they can link to the allenwestforcongress.com, and people can link to the legal fund?
That's right, the Allen West recount fund.
Let's get that up there, Mr. Producer, and I want to encourage, let's do a Levin surge out there, America. Let's do what we can here. This is really sleazy. And, you know, you defended us, and it's time for us to try and defend you. So that's allenwestforcongress.com. Make sure you go to the right link, and let's give him the ability to have the legal support that he needs to get this right. I'll tell you what, Alan, Congressman, you feel free to call in or let me know when you need to come on the air, okay?
Well, I appreciate it. And, you know, Mark, this is all about we have to make a stand somewhere. Because if we don't, this level of voting fraud and shenanigans will continue in another 2 years when we have a midterm cycle, and also our governor is running for re-election. And then, of course, 4 years from now, we'll see it again. So they picked the fight, and we're going to make that fight, and we're going to stand in the gap to protect our constitutional republic, because that's what this is all about.
Well, you're great. And whatever you do, wherever you are, we're going to be supporting you. God bless you, my friend. My best to your wife.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Mark.
All right, take care. I mean, that's just agonizing. So I hope you folks will help. AllenWestForCongress.com. Go to the right link, and let's make sure he at least has can pay for his legal activities there, because I'm sure the left wing is doing everything possible to attack, to defend against.